guys, it's Gretchen and welcome back to my channel. So today's video probably won't be very long, but it's something that I've been asked about a lot, and I guess it's just because I've posted on Instagram using this product before, and that is Saniderm. I did a video a while ago talking about like healing a tattoo with Saniderm or Tegaderm, but I use Saniderm pretty much all the time whenever I get a tattoo now. So a lot of people ask me, what exactly is Saniderm and how does it help heal a tattoo? So that is what I'm going to talk about just briefly today, but I'm also going to insert some clips of me removing Saniderm from a tattoo. I actually have two clips from my most recent tattoo. I have a clip of me removing the Saniderm from the line work, and then I have a clip of me removing the Saniderm from after it was colored. But because a lot of you are interested in what exactly Saniderm is and how it differs from other healing methods, I thought I would touch a little bit just on what the product is first. So what exactly is Saniderm? Saniderm is a polyurethane acrylic adhesive medical bandage. I really hope I said that first word correctly. But basically, it's just this plastic looking adhesive that goes on top of a tattoo. That's all it is. It's breathable and it's flexible, which is incredibly important for a tattoo because oxygen needs to get to the tattoo in order for it to heal properly. So making sure that this adhesive bandage that just slaps itself and sticks itself right onto your tattoo, making sure that your tattoo can still breathe is very vital to it healing properly. It can also protect against dirt, germs, anything else that your tattoo could potentially come in contact with, which is great because it lessens your chance of your tattoo healing funny or even developing an infection. So one thing that I particularly, I don't know, this might be weird, but I love it because Saniderm, it's an adhesive, goes over top of your tattoo, it seals in the fluids that your body pushes out while your tattoo is healing. So plasma, blood, excess ink, all of that is like pooling underneath the adhesive bandage. So for one, it looks gross, but it's also kind of fun to like look at it. But this also aids in the healing process of a tattoo because it contributes to skin cell regeneration, which is great for a healing tattoo. That's what you want. You know, it's a wound. You want the skin cells to regenerate themselves so that it heals. It's great stuff. Saniderm should only be worn for about 7 days max, and that's for however many pieces you use, because at that point you've got a lot of adhesive going on, you're going to irritate it a little bit. You don't want to do that. So the length of how long the first piece is worn really depends on how much fluid buildup there is underneath the adhesive. So like if you've gotten this massive tattoo and you notice that a lot of fluids are building up after 24 hours, you should probably remove it and put a new piece on. However, this kind of does vary person to person. Some people will tell you to definitely remove it no matter what after 24 hours. Some will also say that if you're not experiencing too much fluid buildup, that you can probably go 2 to 3 days before you change it. It really just kind of depends on what is happening. I keep pointing to this area because this is my newest tattoo that used Saniderm, so that's why I keep doing that. But it really just depends on how much fluid you're noticing is like pooling underneath the adhesive. A lot of people worry about Saniderm because they're afraid that the removal of the Saniderm is actually going to harm the tattoo. Once it's time to remove the Saniderm, you're pulling this up and it's stuck on your tattoo. So a lot of people are concerned or worried that pulling the Saniderm up is going to basically pull ink from the tattoo. However, that does not happen, and pretty much Saniderm cannot harm your tattoo at all. This is because when the Saniderm is first placed on a brand new tattoo, it is placed on excess ink. So it's not placed on the tattoo, it's placed on that excess ink. So when it does come up, all it's pulling is all the fluids and excess ink that may have been pushed out of the body. So it's not pulling the actual tattoo, it's pulling that little layer between the tattoo and the adhesive that's just a whole bunch of fluids. So removing Saniderm, a lot of people are a little leery about removing the Saniderm. They've got the concern that it's gonna harm the tattoo, which it will not. But pulling the Saniderm off, especially if it's a big piece, can be a little painful. I mean, it's this adhesive thing that's stuck to you. It's gonna pull like baby hairs, it's gonna pull your skin a little bit. It's not always a pleasant experience. So how you remove Saniderm, you just find an edge that's kind of like pulled itself up on the adhesive and you pull in the direction of hair growth. If you pull against hair growth, it's really gonna hurt. But at least if you pull in the direction of hair growth, it won't hurt quite so much. So like for me on my arm, because the hair grows down more, like the baby hairs, the hairs that you don't really see, grows this way, you're gonna wanna pull it this way. You will find that getting it wet with warm water kind of helps in the process of pulling it off. You really don't wanna remove Saniderm dry because that's really gonna hurt. What I do, if it's a smaller piece, sometimes I'll just take like a washcloth and get it wet and just kind of like rub it over the edges to kind of work its way in there and use that. Other times I will just like stick my arm or whatever body part has the Saniderm on it in the shower, get it nice and wet, and then try and remove it. If it starts to hurt a little bit more, then I'll stick it back in the shower and just repeat the process. However, if you find that water's not really helping with the removal, you can also use oil like baby, coconut, or olive oil and just like put a very small amount around the edges, and that will help loosen up the adhesive so that it kind of makes it a little bit easier to remove. So now that I have like briefly touched on what exactly Saniderm is and how it works for a tattoo, I am going to insert some clips here that show you me removing Saniderm. And it's all the same tattoo. So in the first clip, you'll see that I take a washcloth and I just kind of put it around the edges and then remove it that way. It's just line work, so it doesn't have too much to stick to. The second clip is after it's been colored. At this point, I make trips to the shower to just get it wet and then come back and remove it and then take it back to the shower and then remove it. It just really depends on the tattoo, the size, the placement, and how easy it is for you to remove. So enjoy these clips of me pulling off all of the baby hair on my arm. So those are clips of me just removing Saniderm. Yes, it was a lengthy process, especially when the color was added, but it's not terrible, and I honestly cannot go back to traditional methods of healing a tattoo because Saniderm speeds up the process of healing it. So whereas normal healing, it could take like 2 to 3 weeks, Saniderm pretty much cuts that in half. It's fantastic. I know a lot of people aren't a fan of Saniderm. I personally am. It's just what works for you. Let me know in the comments below if you yourself have used Saniderm before and what your experience was like with it. Again, I recommend it to everyone, but it is not for everyone. Special thank you to my patrons. You can help support the channel on Patreon while having access to videos early, viewing patron-only content, and more. But that is it for this video. If you enjoyed it, please give it a big ol' thumbs up. Go on down there and hit that subscribe button, wherever it may be, because I don't know. Even though I do, this is just my shtick now. Also hit that notification bell in case you want to know when I upload, and in case YouTube wants to let you know when I upload, because I would really appreciate it. And until next time, bye guys!